I've been thinking a lot about it. I was up this morning. I went into deep, heavy meditation, trying to think very hard about um, the shills, man. I'm starting to feel bad for them. So I feel like now's the time to come out and maybe revisit forgiving the shills, you know? I think maybe it's time to forgive them. I've been thinking about looking at it as, getting mad at the shills is kind of like getting mad at the advertising or marketing department of said company, company X, let's just say. When a person gets sent a synthesizer, what's up, Jax? What's up, Hansvold? When a person gets sent a synthesizer and we go and watch their video, and then we become a little bit angered that they got this thing for free, they're not really telling us the whole deal, you know. It's rarely ever critical, you know. It's kind of like when you apply for a job and the person who is interviewing you says, "Tell me your greatest strengths and weaknesses," and you're like, "My greatest strength is I'm the hardest working man you've ever met in your whole entire life." And then he's like, "And what's your weakness, sir?" And you're like, "My greatest weakness is I work too hard." So that's kind of what happens when a shill gets sent a synthesizer or a piece of gear. They know that they don't really want to bite the hand that feeds them. So they have to give a bunch of compliments, and then they have to give the greatest weakness, which is, let's call it the resume weakness. That's all you ever get from a shill. You get a resume weakness, you know. This synthesizer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 things are amazing, but this one thing, and then they'll say, for example, the synthesizer just sounds too clean. It doesn't have that little bit of raw sound that you want. And that's the weakness. And you're like, what? And they're just the marketing department of the synthesizer companies. The synthesizer companies do not seem to have a budget to produce the kind of marketing they need. So they use... I don't think there's any way to get an honest review from a synth fluencer. I had an experience where I got sent 2 pieces of gear. One was a Sonito tempo pad. They just wrote me and sent it to me and said, "Hey, we want to send you this." They didn't really give any instructions and basically said, "It's yours, review it." And then I got another thing which happened where I got sent a Arturia Mini Freak. And when I got sent these 2 things, here's what happened psychologically to me. I'll just take you through the mind of a gear synthfluencer, whatever you want to call it, basically the marketing department of the synthesizer companies, which is YouTube. YouTube is the marketing department of all the synthesizer companies. They pick who's got the most views or who's an up-and-comer or who's got the most engagement. They send them a synthesizer, and, you know, a lot of the big guys will be like, you know, "You got to pay me to do this. Here's my fee to review it." Some other people will be happy enough to get the gear. They'll do the review and sell it and get the money from the gear. And then there's another thing in the gear industry called creator discount. Creator discount is like 30% off of gear as long as you review it. So say you bought a $1,000 synthesizer, you got it for $666, and then you go and do your one video review for 5-10 minutes. Then you take the gear, you throw it up on Reverb, and you make yourself $300-400, right? So that's kind of how the gear review scenes work. That's why you see a lot of the synth people out there. They'll do one video of a piece of gear, then you never hear from them ever again. You never see a second video, a third video. You might get 1 or 2, but then it's gone. You never hear them talk about it or anything because the job is over, right? The job is done. You're not going to build a house and then go back to the house and constantly walk around it and say how great it is. You built the house, you move on to the next house. So that's what's up. What's up, Tron Dog? I'm guessing he was... Yeah, so here's what happened. I got sent a couple pieces of gear back months and months and months ago. It might have been a year ago now. And here's what happened to me psychologically when I got these pieces of gear sent to me. Psychologically, instantly I had pressure. So there was an instant pressure, this invisible pressure on me that, okay, I need to make this gear review. I need to think about the gear. Not a gear review, I just need to make a video about it. I need to, and there was pressure. And then it was like, oh, I got to really do this. I got to do something, blah, 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 blah. But then not only that, as you're thinking about it, automatically your brain goes to, I was given something for free, so therefore, I'm not going to be hard on the person who gave it to me for free. It's like when you go to, someone invites you over to their house for dinner, they cook you a meal, the meal tastes like shit, tastes like trash. You're like, ugh, you can barely hold it down. The vomit is coming up your esophagus by the second. And they look at you and they're like, how's the food? And you're like, it's delicious. Okay? That's kind of what happens when you get given a piece of gear. Psychologically now, you're already, you have an owner over you now. You have somebody who's your AKA sort of boss. And you know if you do a review and you're not too harsh, but you throw in the little resume weakness that, you know, the synth is absolutely 10 out of 10 everywhere, but you know the buttons are a bit clicky, you know? And this is kind of what's going on with the OPXY at the moment, is there's not one person on all of GearTube right now, not one person who's really given it a proper, honest opinion, right? I don't have it, so I can't give it an honest opinion. I can only give you what I've saw, what I've seen, and when I look at something, my gut instinct tells me, oh, this guy's lying to me, you know? There's lots of great channels out there, but my point is we have to forgive the shills, because the shills are a very important part of the synth GearTube ecosystem. Very important part. So without the shills, we probably wouldn't learn about the gear, but there's a whole new upcrop of channels happening that are bringing you pretty much the same thing, you know? They're telling you about the gear, they're bringing you the gear, they're bringing you updates on it, but also, if there's no videos on it, for example, Korg puts out a bunch of videos for their new synthesizers, and heavily edited, the sound is heavily compressed, increased, you really don't know what you're getting until you buy it. You got great people out there who are doing video manuals, then you got people who are doing over-the-top shilling, then you got people who are just absolute synthesizer mercenaries. They do not give a crap if the video, if the synthesizer is garbage, they're going to tell you it's the best without telling you it's the best, because they're not going to tell you what's bad about it. All right? Yeah, the synth mafia got me trapped. I'm under the gun. The shills have put me, have me held at you know what point, and I have to come out here and I have to back the shills up. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to, because I'm wrestling with this myself, because I watched a couple OPXY streams this morning, one in particular, and it was a guy doing a stream on the OPXY, all right? And while watching this stream, I really just wanted to be like, bro, are you serious? Are you serious that you're really pumping this hard? And then I thought about it and I'm like, man, what if this guy really, really likes it, you know? And so I asked him, I was like, bro, did you buy this yourself or was it sent to you? He said, I bought it myself, man. He's like, 2,300 bucks. What's the big deal? He's like, I got $100,000 worth of music equipment right here. $2,300 is nothing to me. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. He's like, when you got this much gear and you invested this much money, 2,300 bucks is a drop in the bucket, as he's saying how awesome it is. And I thought about it and I'm like, man, this cat just really likes this. I don't think this was a shill. This was just a guy who bought the gear and he works in the music industry and blah, 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 blah. And I thought about it. I'm like, man, all right, fair enough. This guy just loves it. So that's how I separate it. He's just a lover of this gear. He's a teenage engineering fanboy. He had like 20 teenage engineering products strung all over Hell's Creation. And I was just like, cool. Then I go watch other videos where you got people who are getting super upset that there's a large demographic of people out there. And let's just call it, we might as well just divide it up into two camps, because this is pretty much what it is. It's the Behringer bros versus the teenage engineers. And then And then within those camps, there's offshoots of those camps. So the Behringer Bros look at teenage engineering, and we don't care if you criticize it. We don't give two hoots. We just think it's hilarious. We love the fact that they're making high quality analog gear and they're giving it to you for a fair price, whether that's because they're taking advantage of Chinese, Taiwanese, whoever over there, workers, who knows what they're doing. And other people are on the teenage engineering camp and they're like, you know, teenage engineering's the best. They pay their workers high wages. That's why we got to pay high prices for their stuff, because it's made in their home countries. And, you know, that's their camp. And they're kind of got a little more of a, they got the Louis Vuitton attitude, which is fine. But the fact of the matter is, all that crap's made over in China and Asia, right? It's made there, you get it, it's assembled where you are. Let's not get it twisted. Everything's made in Asia, 99.99999%. Yeah, it's cool shirt, cool hat. I gotta get a jacket made or something now because it's getting cold. Sweatshirt, hoodie, or something. But I think this is the flyest shirt on the face of the earth. You know, got the logo, got the punter. Man, this is full blast. That's how I like to make my t-shirts. Full blast, 2 sleeves, front and back. Yeah, you got a collector's camp, you got the elitist camp, you've got the pro camp, you've got the bro camp, and then you've got the, I don't know what you call the teenage engineers. To be honest with you, I'm trying to figure it out. So I've been watching a crap ton of live streams because it seemed when this OPXY dropped, suddenly there's like a bunch of under 500 sub channels that are, yeah, it's the yin and yang, baby. What do you think? You're just going to get praise your whole life? A lot of the shills just don't understand that, man, people get annoyed with you. And that's just the way it is. And there's always going to be a differing opinion. There's the yin and the yang. So if you can't take the heat, man, close your comment section down, shut your channel down. But, you know, there's no point to be a whingy little baby about it. Although everyone thinks I'm a whingy little baby too. So it is what it is. I don't really care. But I was watching all these teenage engineering videos, and it seems like there's a bunch of under 500 sub channels that are doing massive live streaming of this teenage engineering OPXY. So as like an experiment to myself, I'm going into these live streams and I'm watching them, and I'm trying to see what they're doing and trying to find out the appeal. I'm trying to find out why these people think $2,300 is worth spending on this thing, because I just don't get it. And I'm not going to cough up that chunk of cheese to buy something like that. So I'm watching it, and there's an insane amount of menu diving. When I'm watching it, the screen on there is acting like a video game. These guys are switching through these screens. It doesn't even look like they know what they're doing. They're just flicking through screens. There's graphics going all over the place. There's metronomes swinging. There's colors shooting in your face. There's laser beams going. There's kung fu fights happening, pixelated characters as they're twisting knobs and clicking stuff. And then out of nowhere, suddenly they have a beat made of some sort that sounds pretty crappy. If I'm going to be blatantly honest, but that's just to me. A lot of people think my stuff sounds crap, and to be honest with you, I think most of my stuff sounds crap too. You know, maybe I'll get one every blue moon that I'm like, oh, nice friggin' thing you made there. But then when I show it to someone, they're like, nah, that's crap. And I'm like, okay, cool, my stuff's crap, I don't care. I'm just doing it to relax. So all these teenage engineering videos I'm watching, it looks like they're playing a video game. There's some psychological connection they're having with this device, and I'm pretty sure it's through the screen they have on there, and the graphic settings they have on there, and the fidelity of certain graphics on that little screen as you're twisting knobs. It actually makes you feel like you're playing a video game. And Synthesizer, baby, yeah, we ain't trashing no one. I'm turning over a new leaf, man. You know, when you're doing a live stream, sometimes you get fired up, especially when it's like 6 in the morning after you just worked 3.5 hours and you're just grabbing a coffee and you just saw someone whinge their life away and just, so I got to be a little more, I got to finesse it a little more, I think, you know. I'm a little bit of a raw dog, so I got to finesse it a little more. But anyways, I'm watching these teenage engineering videos, and it looks like they're playing a video game. So there's some type of visual kinetic connection with this OPXY, and people who are teenage engineering fanboys with the OP1, and not so much the OPZ, but especially these last two, the OP1 field and the OPXY. There's a video game there's a video game visual kinetic connection that these people are experiencing with this device. And personally for me, I'm like, man, you're just spending like a ton of time just basically playing a video game with this synthesizer. It's like a video game and a synthesizer in one. And it's got that old school Game Gear, Game Boy kind of vibe to it. And I guess that's why some dudes like bringing it to bed with them. I don't know, you know, because it's got this addictive... And there is a payoff. When I'm watching these guys doing it, there's a payoff, like a video lottery machine. As long as you twist the knobs enough and you change screens enough and you shift function enough and you do enough, there is a payoff where there's some type of quantized beat that ends up coming out after 4.5 to 15 to 32 to 64 hours of sitting in front of this thing with your neck almost broke, bent over, with the thing laying across your lap, you know, like... There's an epidemic going on with the teenage engineering customers where they're having huge neck problems. They're getting their necks, they're having to go to doctors because their necks are like this. All right? They're going to the doctor and the doctor's like, what's wrong with you? And they're like, I don't know, doctor, my neck. Because when you put your head this far forward, your head weighs an average of 8 pounds. That's 8 pounds of pressure right on your cervical spine. So they're having, what's up, Echo? I don't care, I'm going to trash you. Yeah, it's called Tech's neck, but now it's called TE neck. It's called the teenage engineering neck. It's a huge thing sweeping across Europe. The clinics and hospitals are overwhelmed over there, and they're having to tell people, you're going to have to get some Velcro and put the teenage engineering OP1 and OPZ. You're going to have to put the Velcro on your wall so you can look at it from regular height, because you're basically going to... What's going to happen, you're going to separate your cervical spine due to overuse of the teenage engineering product. That's what's going on. It's a medical epidemic. I think there's 4 to 6 to 15 scientific peer-reviewed papers on it right now. There could be tons of lawsuits in the future. So I'm watching it very closely. I don't have anything updated because nothing is complete at the moment. But look out for the teenage engineering neck or the Tech's neck or game neck, whatever you call it. You got to get good posture, man. You got to have that lobster posture, you know? You got to get that, you got to stand up straight. You know what I mean? Yeah, you call them zombies. I call them tronbies, electronic zombies, T-R-O-N zombies, T-R-O-N-B-I-E-S, tronbies. You see them everywhere. I watched one lady when I was in Asia. I was riding my motorcycle down the road, looked over, seen a tronbie walking by with her phone. The manhole cover was off the road. She walked and right down the manhole. And I just kept driving. I was like, man, that's unlucky, but you have to have consequences for your actions. So I don't know if she's still in that manhole. I don't know if the clown got her. I don't know if she shot out into the river. I don't know what happened to her, but she walked along. She had Tech's neck. She was a tronbie. Boosh, right down the manhole. I should have stopped. It's one of my biggest regrets ever is I never stopped and checked to see if she was in the manhole or not. I just was like, I got to get to work, man, you know? You can't be, you got to pay attention. Trombies, yeah. Not trombones, trombies. Like zombies, electronic zombies, tronbies. T-R-O-N-B-I-E-S, tronbies. Yeah, I think it got her, man. Because after I walked by, there was another manhole and a red balloon came up from that manhole. And I was like, boom, I'm out of here. Yeah, so, but not to bury the lead. The lead is we have to forgive the shills. We're being too hard on the shills, and the shills serve a purpose. They're a very important part of the ecosystem, and we have to forgive them. We can't say for they know not what they do. They know what they're doing. Because I experienced it. There's a level of moral suppression when you have to shill some gear, because you do know that there's some things that you really want to say, but you just can't say it because you've been given something for free, and nothing comes for free in exchange for the freedom, or sorry, in exchange for the free product, you have to give up some linguistic freedom, and you have to choose your words very carefully. That's what it is. So we got to forgive them. They're doing what they're doing, and they're good at it. And it brings tons of entertainment for myself and yourself. But there's a caveat that I have to tell the shills. And this goes out to all the shills. You all know who you are. We all know who you are. You know who you are. We know who you are. The companies know who you are. We all know who you are. And the caveat is, you gotta deal with the yin and yang of being a shill. You gotta be able to take the punches. You gotta be able to take the verbal smacks. You gotta be able to understand that people are not gonna agree with you. They see some flaws in the product, and they're looking at you, and they know through their own discernment that you're not telling the honest truth. And that's fair enough. So my message to the shills is just go full shill, man. Just embrace the shilling. Go full shill. You remember when WWE was competing with WCW, and WCW started to bring out a more reality-based live product. WWE had no choice but to also bring out a live product, and they had to get a little more raw and a little more in your face and a little more that. I personally think that the shills need to do a little more FU to people like us. You know, if Johnny Synth does a video on the Labyrinth, and I'm like in the comment section being like, bro, are you friggin' serious? That Labyrinth is a hunk of junk, worst synthesizer ever made. I can't believe you're just shilling that thing. He should write back and be like, you're the sucker. I got this for free. And I'd be like, oh, I'd be like, okay, all right. I'd be like, that's honesty. That's truth. I feel that. If Jennifer Synth Girl over there is like doing a synth review, and I'm like, Jennifer, come on, man, Jennifer, this is a bit much here. You know this thing isn't worth this kind of money. She should write down the comments, you damn right it ain't worth this kind of money. I'd never pay for it, but they sent it to me, and I'm gonna shill it to no end. So you, my little commenter, can suck it. If they said stuff like that, I mean, it would be hilarious to me. But I do know that it's not in their nature to do that. They're not. So I get it. So my point is, we have to forgive them because they're just a marketing department of the synthesizer industry. It's fine. I'm not going to call up Nike when they do a commercial with with Venus Williams trying to sell me a pair of tennis sneakers and say, "Hey, George, you're a shill, bro." You know? Do people call Venus Williams a shill? Because you might as well look at it. These synthfluencers up there, when they got like, I don't know, man, what, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 subscribers, they're kind of like synth royalty. And if you don't recognize it, they recognize it to each other. They're in an elite class, you know? They get sent things for free. They get paid to do reviews. They're not reviews, they're moderated reviews. Furnace just kicking in. I don't know if you can hear it. I got noise suppression on. They're moderated reviews, but we should all be grateful that we even get the opportunity through our little phones in our pockets or our computers to get the privilege to witness these YouTube stars demonstrating to us the beautiful new gear that's coming out on a regular basis, and that we get the opportunity to interact with them in their comments and let them know they're a shill or let them know it's awesome, because there's tons of people who love it, right? If you go in a comment section of a shill video, there's tons of like, I don't know if they're bots or real, but there's tons of people who are like, I don't know what they're doing. They're just like, oh my God, so amazing, absolutely gorgeous. I do that too. You know, sometimes I like to throw a lot of butter in the comments. I'll be like, man, that was a wonderful video, absolutely breathtaking. You demoed that thing so perfectly. Great stuff, man. Because you just want to spread some positivity sometimes. But I did a little experiment I did a little experiment the other day because I wanted to see. I know there's a fine line to what I'm doing. And I know there's a fine line between niches of content, okay? And what happened the other day is I witnessed a bunch of people go into my comments after I made a video on purpose that was a little bit too hot for TV. Because I just wanted to see if I could use certain linguistics to make people hate me. And instantly I had people hate me. I had people who came into the comments section and say, I'm absolutely done with you. This is atrocious. I can't believe you even said this. I've been such a fan of yours for so long, and because of this one video, I'm taking my sub and I'm leaving you forever. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I don't care. Good. That's the whole point I made this video, because I just wanted to see. It was almost like a little bit of a weird loyalty test. I wanted to see if I truly spoke from the heart, unfiltered, and specifically used triggering words and vocabulary. I just wanted to see who would bubble up to the surface and say they were done with me. So out of the 650 videos I did, I just wanted to see if this one 12-minute video would make people have so much hate due to the vocabulary I was using that they would spend their hard-earned time, 6:30 in the morning, to tell me how bad I was and to tell me they were leaving me forever. And it worked, and the experiment worked, and it was crazy. And I was like, wow, okay. Now I know where the guardrails are, and also I know where I can push the Overton window in order to burn some dead wood, I guess you could say. You know? Because the fact of the matter is, if I know what the deal is. I'm not going to get into it on here, but I know exactly what the deal is, right? I know what the deal is. You know what the deal is. We all know what the deal is. I mean, there's nothing really to hide anymore. We know what the friggin' deal is, right? Yeah, take your synth and go home. The other crazy thing is a lot of the people think that, I don't know. Anyways, let's keep on the point of shills. I want to talk about forgiving the shills and just enjoy the YouTube content for what it is. A lot of people don't like me. A lot of people don't like my content. A lot of people don't get my content. If they watch one video, you're not really going to understand what I'm doing. You're not going to really understand this little Carnivalesque experiment that we're all involved each other in. You're not going to understand the overarching community. It's kind of like if you walk into someone's house and they're watching season 6 of Lost, and you sit down and watch episode 3 and you've never seen any of it, you're going to be like, what's going on here? I'm not into this, because you just haven't been around. So my channel is the kind of channel that you got to really invest in and spend some time around, and it's a beautiful, wonderful community of everybody having a good time, having a laugh. We argue, we fight, we make up, we break up, we got tons of different personalities, and there's an overarching theme to everything that we're just trying to have a good time and not be so serious. That's what's going on this channel. We're just having a really good time. Like I told you, this channel might be around for 10 years. This channel might be around for 10 more minutes. So I'm just living in the moment just like you guys are. We're enjoying it while it lasts. And, you know, it's pretty impressive to think that there's a lot of GearTube channels out there that have been around for 10, 15 years, 9 years, and they've put videos out consistently, hard slog. That's what one creator was saying the other day. He was like, I earned this synthesizer. I earned this $2,300 piece of gear from all the hard work I put into this channel, doing one video a week for the last 4 years, not missing a beat. He's like, I earned it. And in my mind, I'm like, I think you might have earned it, dude. You earned it. But you also, man, you know, when you start climbing the pyramid, there's a lot of people going to be trying to drag you down. So you just got to be strong. You got to be tough. You got to man up. You got to say, you know what? I don't care about why even, I mean, I like reading negative comments because I find them funny. because I look at it as like WWE, and these are just fans of wrestlers, and they like to take shots. If you like WWE and wrestling, the fans are a part of the experience. So the comments and the subscribers and the fans, you guys are a part of this whole channel. This channel doesn't exist without the input and the trolling and the positivity and the negativity. This whole channel is just like, it's our channel. It's not my channel. I'm just along for the ride. I'm having a good time, you know? So I embrace the trolling and the shilling. I find it hilarious. When I got channels like Pro Synth Network out there who badmouth me behind the scenes, talk crap about me constantly. They even got to the point now where they won't even mention my name, but they still say my name. And I think it's hilarious. And I go check it out sometimes. I'm still subscribed to the CCTV Mental Institute channel, and also the one they do on Friday, the Pro Synth Network. I'm subscribed to them. I go in and check them out here and there. And I think it's hilarious that they hate on me so bad. I don't think it's depressing. I think it's hilarious. And that's why we started the Bro Synth Network, because I'm like, you guys are pros. You guys are pretentious. You think you're better than everybody else. You look down on me because I'm just a regular dude who's just doing a regular thing with a bunch of regular guys, and you guys don't like it, and that's fine. So that's why we're doing the Bro Synth Network. You guys can be the pros. We're the bros. So it's always bros before pros on this channel. If the pros want to come have a chat, come on in, man. But I ain't pretending to be better than anyone else. I ain't pretending to be the best musician. I ain't pretending to be the most well-spoken. I'm not pretending to be anything that I'm not. This is what I am. The only thing I pretend to be is Stefan, who's a teenage engineering fanboy. Okay? Or the super patriotic Behringer bro, leader of the Behringer Bro Network. That's what I pretend to be. But this is me. This is who I am. And they don't like it, and for some reason, they like to talk crap about me. So I'm not going to really talk crap about them. I'm just going to let you know that I see you, man. I'm watching you. I know what you're up to. It's hilarious. Good for you. I'd actually find it more fun if you had the nuts. I'd actually, for Pro Synth Network, I'd actually find it funnier and more enjoyable if you had the friggin' nuts and you weren't so neutered that you just tell the truth and call me out and tell me I'm an ass, I'm a dickhead, I'm a douchebag, I'm some blah, blah, blah. I would find that way more endearing and hilarious if you did that. But I understand you're not going to, because you're a bunch of neutered, gutless, two-faced synth pros. And that's the last I got to say about it. And I don't think that's saying anything, because you guys call me out in your 5, 6, 8-hour streams all the time. And the funny thing is, I can go and click it and I just put the toolbar anywhere on your friggin' 8-hour stream, and suddenly you're talking about me. It's crazy. You should have a little more respect. You know? Like, I respect Nick Bat. I respect Starsky Carr. I respect all these guys. I don't respect you guys. But what does it say? Not that I don't respect you. No, I don't respect you. I think you're a bunch of two-faced dudes, and that's just it. Because the fact that you go on some Zoom call and talk crap about me behind the scenes is hilarious. It's weird, actually. So I'm just saying it straight to your face. So if you're watching this, or any of you Pro Synth Network people out there, which we got a lot of crossover people, you know, man up. Don't talk about me behind my back. Say it to my face. I can take it. I'm a big boy. But anyways, I do enjoy the Pro Synth Network. They got a good channel. That's just a promo I'm cutting on them. They got a cool channel. They did Anthony Marinelli. They had Anthony Marinelli on there Friday. Huge guest. Massive clout chase. They got him on there, and they did a great show, and I watched probably like 10 minutes of it. And it was enjoyable. That guy's a legend. I think he had his son on there. It was either his son or his brother or something. They're doing a synthesizer course, which is super cool, man. I haven't seen anybody do an educational synthesizer course, so I think that's awesome. And yeah, so it's a good show Fridays. I think it's at 2 o'clock. Cool show. Cool show, but boss are dickheads. I'd never hang out with them. They're just dickheads. Great show, great content, but they're dickheads. because they're two-faced. And they're, yeah, they're two-faced. Gutless. Yeah, Dante. Dante's a cool dude, so it was a cool show. Yeah, exactly. Pro Synth Network. That's why I invented the Bro Synth Network, man. It's like, you guys are so friggin' pretentious. It's crazy. You think it's funny that you think you're better than everyone else. It's just insane, you know. But anyways, back to the shills. When I just started this stream, I was trying to tell you the story about when I got sent a couple pieces of gear. Because when I started this channel, my initial idea and goal was, oh man, I'm seeing all these synthesizer guys getting, not when I started the channel, when I started the synth show. I was like, these guys are getting sent gear. Maybe I can get sent some gear. And then as soon as I got sent some gear, I instantly psychologically knew that I would have to morally corrupt certain parts of my persona, and I don't want to be sent gear anymore, right? I got off of that, and I'm like, I'd rather just community build, have a good time, do more of a comedic kind of real live, more raw, more renegade style show where we're not in this for gear and getting sent free stuff and all that there. So a little more synth sessional, you know, with a little more style, a little more panache. That's what we're doing. Yeah, he is. He's yeah, he's an annoying, two-faced coward is what he is. Straight up. Big time coward. Big time coward. And to be honest, I think he's the one who started all the crap. To be honest, me and the British bagpipe could probably get along, because I got a lot of British friends, and I understand their style of comedy and Raz and all that stuff. We could get along. But this other guy, this American dude that kind of goes over into their streams and slips in, and he's got zero charisma, and he's just, all he does is badmouth me, and he can't stand me for some reason. I know why he can't stand me, actually, but I won't get into it. But I know why. And he's got SDS. He's got samurai derangement syndrome. That's what Synth Addict has. His name's Synth Addict. He's got Behringer derangement syndrome. He's got samurai derangement syndrome, and he's got another derangement syndrome as well. You can probably figure out which one he's got. The British bagpipe. The British bagpipe is Robbie from Pro Synth Network. He's the British bagpipe. And I was trying to be nice and call him the British bagpipe just as like a joke. I was going to change it to the British bulldog, actually, because I feel like the British bulldog is a little more respectful. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the British. Maybe we'll change. What do you guys think? Do a vote in the chat. Should I change Robbie's pro synth wrestling nickname to the British bulldog, or keep it with the British bagpipe? I like the British bagpipe because he just blows tons of hot air out about me. No change-ups. All right, British bagpipe. That's cool. Yeah, so we got the British bagpipe. His name's Robbie. I like the guy, actually. I think he's kind of funny. He's got an endearing quality to him. And I just think that he had someone in his ear talking crap about me, saying all this crap. And then I went and watched a bunch of their crap, and he talks crap about me, not on his real show, because he's two-faced. He'll talk crap about me on his CCTV show called the Pubness with Kent Spong, or whatever his name is. And they go on there and they just talk crap about me. They talk crap about people who like Behringer. They talk crap. They talk about a bunch of stuff. So it's 8 hours long. But they'll just talk for every blue moon. They'll come on and just be like, that samurai guy, but they won't say my name. They'll be like, that guy's so blah, blah, blah. He gets too much airtime. He's cringe. He's total clickbait. He's just an amateur. He's this. He's nothing. I don't know why people like him. I don't understand how people even watch his show. Blah, 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 blah. That's fine. That's your opinion. But, you know, you guys are the Synth Mafia. I know it. You know it. Pro Synth Network is just code for Synth Mafia. And I didn't even, when I made that term up, I wasn't even talking about you guys. I just made it up as like a joke to go in my whole creative ecosphere of WWE style synth content. So I made up the Synth Mafia as like an opposing force to the Synth Renegades and all the people out here just working hard, the blue collar hobbyists, the people who are just into synthesizers for the love of it, not trying to be pro, we're just doing our thing. So I created the Synth Mafia as like an overarching group of you know, synth shills and synth companies who collaborate with each other and release synthesizers on the same rollouts. They try not to step on each other's toes. They're all in a network together. And you guys just went and you guys took the term Synth Mafia. And the more and more I looked at it, you're a bunch of gatekeeping Synth Mafia people. It's strange. And you like it. The weird thing is you like it because you like being elite. You like having that elitist, pompous, royal attitude. You know what I mean? It's weird. And again, I like your show. Everyone should go watch it. It's Fridays at 2 o'clock, I think, Eastern time. Good show, great show. I think it's one of the best new shows. It's not really new. It's 4 years old. I think they said they haven't missed a Friday in 4 years, which is super impressive, man, because if anybody does this stuff, it's friggin', it's hard. Hit the like button if you don't mind. It's hard to constantly come up with content, but they got a great little format. They got good pacing. They're getting guests on now, so they got a great show. So I'm not knocking their show. I'm just saying they're two-faced. So you think they're one thing on the Pro Synth Network, then you go watch them on Pubness, and you're like, oh, this is who you guys are. A bunch of backstabbing two-facers. I got to give them a little bit of glaze, Machines One. Come on, man. I got to give the British donuts a little bit of glaze. You know? You got to give it a little salt, a little honey with the vinegar. But the funny thing is, I didn't start this beef. They started this synth beef. I didn't start it. They started it. What, did Echo go on a rant today? Did he do a synth car? I missed it. Yeah. We live rant-free. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just interesting to me. I just find it interesting. But anyways, to get on to some more stuff. Tomorrow night we're doing the Catchup kumate. If you don't know what the Catchup kumate is, it's kind of started in the Discord and it was an event. Yeah, I give props to them, man. They got, like I said, one last little bit of glaze for the British Krispy Kreme donut crew. Great show, great pacing. I love the layout. I love the content. They're a little bit boring for me, which is no big deal because I'm a little bit fired up. But they got a great show. They're dedicated. They got merch just came out, some super creative merch. It's like colored shirts that just got their logo on it. They put a lot of thought into it. To be honest, they're some of the most creative designs I've ever seen. They got black shirts and red shirts, and they got the Pro Synth Network logo on it. It must have took them forever to come up with that. They probably may even had to hire the greatest graphic designer ever to make the shirts for them. But I think they sold a dress the other day. They said one of the dudes on the show bought one of their dresses, so that's cool. And yeah, they got cool merch. My favorite merch they got's that leather jacket thing they got. I might scab that and make the leather jacket because I think it's cool. Yeah. I'm still alive, baby. I'm still alive. Yeah, Discord's closed. We had a troll invasion. We had to pull up the drawbridge on the Samurai Kingdom and fill the moat with alligators because we had a major troll invasion. And it was just, yeah, we had to close up the Discord. So Discord's now closed. We had to flush out all the moles. And I think we got everyone now. I think. Still might be one in there. I don't know. I might open up the Discord later on, but to be honest with you, it was just getting too annoying with the trolls because, yeah. This is it, dude. I gotta, yeah, so the last little bit of glaze, great show, Friday afternoons. They started this synth beef, so I'm just carrying it on. They're trying to do it behind the scenes, and I'm bringing it front and center. So it's probably going to look like I'm the one who's starting the beef, but I'm not. I'm just answering their silent two-faced beef behind the scenes, all right? And go check out Kent Spong's channel. It's called Pubness. They do 8-hour streams like once a week. And yeah, you can catch them talking crap in there about me and other people too. But they'll never do that on their real show because they're two-faced. Yeah, Sonic State's amazing. I love Sonic State. I think Nick Bat's the best. He's an OG. Absolutely amazing. To be honest, I'll save that for later. I'll save that for later. I'll save that for later. Yeah, here's the deal. I got no Patreon. There's no memberships. There's no, I ain't asking you for nothing, begging you for nothing. I got a t-shirt store that I made for myself, so I don't have to go to the mall. I can just say, I got an idea, and I'll make the t-shirt and I buy it for myself. Ask my wife. She's like, you bought another 5 or 6 more of your t-shirts? I'm like, yeah, but they're my t-shirts that I made. So you guys can go buy one of them if you want. But yeah, Discords are crazy. That's why we had to close it down. We had to close down the Discord because, oh yeah. So I talked to Echo this morning. I think I'm changed. I'm converted to a Teenage Engineering OPXY fan. I watched the stream this morning, and apparently this guy was saying that there's so many built-in secrets inside this Teenage Engineering OPXY that people are just uncovering things in the side of this thing that nobody even knew was in there. So I'm going to investigate a little more. I might do one more video on it next week after I study these streams a little bit and find out what these guys are wild. They're taking notes. They all got notebooks out. They're taking notes. They're going through the manuals. They're taking notes during live streams. The live streams got like 10 or 12 people in there. It's wild. And they're digging into this thing. And like I said, it's like they're playing a video game, twisting knobs. I can't follow it. The screen's going wild. It's like super high flicker rate. And then suddenly a beat comes out. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. It's like magic. Almost like black magic. So yeah, I got to go to work today. Anyways, there's no hate with Pro Synth Network. It's just a beef that they started. They can squash it anytime they want, but it ain't going to get squashed with them talking about me behind my back. All right? It ain't ever going to get squashed. But like a true bro, I will say they got a great show. Because a true bro recognizes a great show. All right? Surely worth $2,300, but the guy made the comment. He was like, bro, I got 100 grand worth of gear. And I was like, holy crap, 100 grand worth of gear. On his table, he had the OP1 field. He had that little mixer box, which is 1,200 bucks. He had about 6 grand of gear on the table of Teenage Engineering gear. And then another guy, me and Hans checked out this dude last night. He did a swing around of his studio. He had, what do you have, Hans? He had like 20 or 30 pieces. I think he even had doubles of gear. I looked over, he had 2 EPKO 133s, probably because one was broke. He had a mixer, he had the friggin' he had the speaker, he had it all. I was like, this is crazy. Whales just like to flex. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. The funny thing is like on this channel, I told you guys all the time, if you got a business and you want me to help you promote it, send me a link. If you've got any products you want to promote, if you got a YouTube channel that you want me to show a video of you playing some synth, just email me and I'll play it on one of the shows. I don't want no money. I don't want no donations. I don't want none of that crap. I'm not like gatekeeping anything. I just want to build up as many Synth Renegade channels as possible. I want to let all the bros who are out there working hard, buying synthesizers, and who are creating channels as a hobby to have a good time. I want to help you out with it as much as possible. If you want to know how to set up OBS or get going, all that stuff, email me. I got no problems helping you with any of that and figuring it out together because it's just a good time. And I'm always looking for other shows to watch because I really enjoy watching raw content, watching people play synthesizers in their small studios. I like the bedroom musicians. Yeah, so a little coffee with the Synth Renegades. You're listening to too much Blake Shell. I do like country music, man. I like country music. I like all kinds of music. You know, I don't really, to be honest with you, this might sound crazy, I don't really listen to music. I listen to music when I do it, and I listen to your guys' music, but when I'm in the car, I don't really listen to music. I'm more into geopolitics. I'm more into what's on the cutting edge of science and breakthroughs. I'm interested in conspiracy theories. I'm interested in all that kind of stuff. So I spend the most of my audio time listening to stuff like that, right? Yeah. I only listen to my own music. So, yeah, and I wanted to get this guy this morning. I wanted to ask him, but he cut his stream before I could. I was going to say, man, do you want to come on the show and just let everyone know what the Teenage Engineering product is all about, because you seem so pumped about it. You know a ton about it. And yeah, I wanted to get him to come on, so I might ask him. Yeah, the kumate competition was cool. We're going to do another one in January, but it's a closed competition. And I got a contender series that is happening this Sunday during the Catchup kumate. And I pretty much think there's only 1 or 2 people who are competing. So it's going to be, the winner is going to be voted on that night by all the legend kumate members to compete in the Synth kumate in January, where the winner will get something. I don't know what yet, but yeah, Shilly Nelson. You like Shilly? Blake Shilton, Shilly Nelson. Yeah, I think, man, a lot of people don't like the fact that the Synth Renegade community is having fun. And I think that's the problem, because they just want to be too serious. They feel like that we're making a joke out of their holy grail of electronic music, and they just don't like the fact that we're kind of like taking the piss a little bit and playing around and doing a little more WWE and Raw, and they're hating on it. So it's fine. I don't mind. Like I said, I enjoy the hate, because the haters are a part of the whole experience. And that's where I think Aura got it wrong, is that he didn't recognize that the yin and yang is all part of the experience. And when you shut down the yin and you only want the yang, it becomes unbalanced, and then you get a false sense of what reality actually is. So you have to embrace the hate. You have to embrace the criticism. You have to embrace the vitriol, the dirtiness, the nastiness. You have to embrace it all and just take it in, man, and convert it. Take it in, digest it, and convert it into something positive, which he did in that video. I thought he made a cool video. The music was awesome. The monologue wasn't up to my taste. I thought it was a bit, I thought it showed weakness rather than strength, is the nicest way I can say it. I thought it showed weakness rather than strength. And I feel like that guy has a lot of strength, and he should have portrayed strength. But everyone does it their own way. It's his journey. He does it his own thing. So who am I to judge, man? Thou shalt not judge. I don't judge you. You don't judge me. You can judge me, though. I don't care. So yeah, I got some new workout equipment picked up here. I got a new, if you see right there, I got a new 7-foot Olympic bar, which I'm going to be setting up. I got some weight spot over here. I got two 45-pound plates, two 35-pound plates, and two 25-pound plates. I got an easy curl bar that just came in upstairs. So I'm going back to building some raw hurting power, some old school muscle for the winter. Just like in, you remember in that Rocky movie when he brought him in, he's like, your bones are brittle. Your joints are arthritic. Your ligaments are torn. We can't do what these young cats can do anymore. So we're just gonna build some old school hurting power. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna be doing 3 days a week, deadlift, bench press, squats with some bicep curls thrown in there, and a little bit of band work, smashing on the bag. And I'm going to be doing that now for the winter. And I was even thinking about making the Synth Bro workout and doing one live stream a morning where we do a workout. You guys can do it at your home if you want, and I'll just work out and talk about synths. We'll see. Squat, deadlifts, pull-ups. Yeah, if you can see, there's a pull-up bar attached to the roof by the electronic panel over there that I'll be doing some pull-ups on too. Yeah, so we'll be doing that. And that's what I got going on for the winter. A lot of synthesizer, a lot of working out, and yeah, I think I'm going to try to get as jacked as I possibly can and as strong as I possibly can. You know, because guess what? God gave you this body. God gave you this temple, or whoever you believe in. Whatever your mom gave you it, whoever, your mom and your dad gave it to you, whoever you think gave you this body, don't you think for once in your whole life that you should try and turn this absolute gem of a biosuit into the most strongest, aesthetically pleasing, and healthiest form you possibly can, just once in your life, just once in your friggin' life. Give it your all for a year and try to see if you can become your absolute pinnacle of your physical self. So that's the little journey I'm going to venture into now, right? I'm going to venture into that journey, and that's what I'm going to be doing for the next, at least till May. I'm going balls to the wall, old school style, compound workout, pumping it, eating tons of steak, eating tons of vegetables. I'll be having pizzas and a few beer too, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be Mr. Olympia, but I'm going to try, and maybe for the last time ever, see what I can put this old 1981 DeLorean, rusted out, dusted up body to the test, and I'm going to get my mind, my body, and my spirit at the pinnacle right now. So that's kind of why I want to start today, and I wanted to do this video because I wanted to talk about forgiveness, forgiving the shills, recognizing they're a part of a synthesizer community, and they're an important part, and they're a precious part, and to understand that when you get sent a piece of music equipment for free, you have to corrupt your morality a little bit in order to foster the partnership. And it's just the way it is. And there's nothing to be ashamed about, but don't try to hide it. You know what I mean? Don't try to hide it. Yeah, Marty McFly. I'm going back to the future, baby. I'm going back to the future. I'm about to pump it up. I'm about to rip it up. And you know what I'm going to do? I might even show the whole progression, because I'm probably going to start tomorrow, actually, because I got the final weight piece in here. I got a couple more things coming next week, but I can get it rolling. And yeah, my body's broke. I've dislocated both shoulders. I've honestly dislocated my right shoulder probably 100 times. I've dislocated my left shoulder probably 60. I've broke this collarbone. I've torn my Achilles tendon complete, and a bunch of other injuries over the years from hockey, kickboxing, MMA. My body's beat down. But you know what? That ain't going to stop me, and I'm going to pump it up. So maybe what I'll do is I'll bring down the MPC. I'll make a beat on the MPC, fire it through the camera, and work out. Won't be long workout, 30 minutes. You guys can do it with me if you want. Who's into it? Who's into doing the Synth Bro workout once a week? Let me know. If you're into it, I'll do it. If not, I'll just do it on my own. But iron sharpens iron. And if you don't got equipment, I can run you through a simple body weight band workout. If you're into it, it don't matter if you're 120 pounds, if you're 200 pounds, if you're 300 pounds, if you're 800 pounds, it don't matter. All you got to do is start, baby, and we can start it together, and we can get this temple refurbished, renovated, and ready for 2025. Because I'm telling you right now, 2025 is going to be a hell of a year, and it's going to be wild, it's going to be crazy, and you better buckle up, and you better be strapped in, because once this rocket ship takes off, you want to be strapped in. All right? Yeah, I'll practice my arpeggios. Maybe I'll bring the Hydrosynth down here. Put it somewhere down here. You guys got any questions before I take off? Again, I just want to say that the synth beef with Pro Synth Network and the Bro Synth Network, it's just a beef. I'm sure it won't last. I'm not looking for an apology. Although they owe me a big apology, I'm not looking for one. And I forgive them as well. And I understand that I'm misunderstood. But you will understand. Someday you will understand. All right, British bagpipe, I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to your little lackey, okay? I'm talking to you, British bagpipe. One day it's going to be me and you, one-on-one, mano y mano, in the digital realm. We'll do an interview, you and me, but you ain't got the nuts to show up. But I'm leaving the door open for you. If you want to come on, let's do it, baby. but I don't think you're going to show up. The call has been made to the British bagpipe, Robbie from Pro Synth Network. If you got the guts, and you got the nuts, and you're not a putz, then show up. Put your money where your mouth is, big boy. That's my promo for the British bagpipe. Chop it out and send it to him in a short. You heard it here first. So anyways, I got to dart because I got to go to work. Oh man, what a laugh. We're just having a good time. I got to go to work. And then I'll be back later tonight. We'll see. Maybe I'll get in the dojo and do a jam tonight or something. We'll see. But we got the Catchup kumate tomorrow. Take part. I don't know who's competing, but I know a few guys did some crazy songs. The whole idea of the Catchup kumate, I'll reference it later, is Catchup is supposed to be thought of initially as a joke, but it's supposed to stretch your limits of musical talent and push you to take something that might seem like a joke and have it inspire you to make something wonderful. That's the idea of the Catchup kumate. That's what's up in the Synth dojo. That's how we learn lessons. That's how we grow. We stretch ourselves to the absolute breaking point until we become supernatural. What's up, Patch Dog? Now I understand why Bro Synth Network exists. Yeah, you get it, right? Now you get it. They started the beef. I'm trying to end the beef. You know, I'm trying to end the beef. I'm trying to cook it up, raw, medium rare, throw some ketchup on it and eat it. But they just won't take it off the barbecue, man. And like I said, I see you. We all see you. We're all watching you. We know everything that you're saying. And say it all you want, but just say it to my face or my digital face. Just say it to my face, dude. Okay? All right, Patch Dog. If you just got here, rewind, check it out. The stream was crazy. What I might do with my live streams now, I might not even leave them up. I might pull them down. We'll see, because we're just having a chat together, and it is what it is. All right? So you guys take it easy. Enjoy the day. Don't forget, Synth Bro workout coming soon, and we'll do it together. We'll get these bodies in tip-top shape for 2025. Bro Synth Network, also coming 2025.